Dakle, dobije pola, a možete kupiti.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Karlovac, Croatia, the Confederation Cup, the 5 o'clock game between hometown Olimpija Karlovac and Hoboken Pioneers from Belgium. The game that is going to decide the second spot in the semifinals tomorrow. The teams are split in two groups, playing in two groups. In group where Olimpija and Pioneers are playing, the Spanish team Valencia already secured the first place and spot in the semifinals. Both teams here are 1-1 records, so direct head-to-head game deciding who's gonna be continuing the dream and pursuing the Confederation Cup title and who's gonna have to settle for consolation games. Leading off for Olimpija is Kevin Voleric, a young homegrown player of Olimpija. Pretty decent speed of Kevin, playing mostly outfield, made couple of nice diving catches on this tournament in the last two games. Let's see if he's gonna be able to carry over that into his at-bats as well, batting I think 286 so far on this tournament. Good take by Kevin, good eye out there as a leadoff. Already seen a couple of pitches, which is especially leading off the game, it's really important to take a couple of pitches, to have a decent at-bat, maybe run the pitch count. As he strikes out, pretty good strikeout by the Belgian pitcher Jensen. Next up for Olimpija, Bobo Gales, another homegrown player. Played all of his European career here in Karlovac and also played in Marietta College in Georgia. As he takes a strike, which he thought that was a bit high. It looked on the top of the zone, and let's see if the umpire will keep calling that a strike. So it's early in the game, so strike zone is being established. And so far we had pretty good umpiring and pretty good and consistent strike zone, which is always important for baseball players to know where to swing and not to swing. The worst thing is when zone has tendency to change during the game, but the umpires so far doing a really good job of calling balls and strikes and outs and saves. It's a ground ball past the first baseman. Bobo Gales is gonna stop. Backdoor throw, but no tag, and Bobo Gales reached the base. So one down, and it's time for Pero Rumora. Peta Rumora. Origin and heritage from island of Pag in Croatia, now living in New York. Was born in New York, but his family and his father was born on the island of Pag, and quite often Pero is there as well. Do have a family house there as Pero attacks the first pitch, but just a pop-up to the shortstop. An easy catch for experienced shortstop of the Pioneers. Olimpija is organizer of this tournament. It's part of the 40 years celebration of Karlovac baseball. Club was formed in 1983, and ever since it was formed, it continued to build on, and in the 40 years a lot of things has been achieved, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that, about the Croatian League, and we're gonna touch base and see how the team went from just playing in local parks in Karlovac to this beautiful stadium and a baseball complex that is here in Karlovac, which most of it was built by own hands of the volunteers of Karlovac baseball. It's another amazing story. As Phil Smith takes a ball. Phil Smith came to Croatia 2015, came to Karlovac, fell in love with Karlovac, and it's been coming ever since. And a balk call, yeah, rightly, no stop. So right there, moving the runner in scoring position with 2 outs, and let's see if Olimpija can capitalize on that with the first run. And Phil Smith, like every American, has hitting blended in DNA, and he's, as far as the Olimpija, the guy with the most power. And in the history, he was the guy really hitting a monster's home run here on Fall River. Lately, he's been taking a little bit different approach, not so aggressive, not aggressive swings, but maybe wild swings, I would say, or powerful swings, and now really taking the ball other way and bunting, doing the hit and runs. So again, evolving as a player as the time goes on. So it's not just a home run threat. He's also now a guy who is able to stay back on a ball and drive it to the right field. So kudos for him for really improving every year, as he swings hard and wanted to hit that ball hard, of course. So in last year or so, he got married and got a couple of kids. So now, beside just playing baseball, there is also the parent responsibility and living United States, and then here it is hard and leaves mark on baseball players. And as Phil Smith is taking a walk, and Yorman Alcala steps in. Yorman Alcala is one of the 2 Venezuelans that Olimpija has, a shortstop and a catcher. Was a good addition last year to Olimpija team. Had a pretty good season last year. This year a little bit slower start, but he was able to pick it up last 6 games of Croatian League, and had a couple of good hits here, played really good defense, and let's see what today has to bring to him, as first and second bases loaded, or I shouldn't say loaded, but occupied, or no, or runners on first and second. Sorry, English is not my native language, so I'm hanging in there with the terms. So you might hear some direct translation from Croatian, going from my head directly to the microphone, but then Croatian-speaking crowd will understand exactly what I needed to say. It's a line drive, but unfortunately for the young player, Olimpija player, just a foul ball. Bobo Gales on second base, and he has ability to steal any base and any time, so he's showing aggressiveness on a basis, and Olimpija was aggressive throughout the whole season. A lot of steals, a lot of hit and runs, bunt and runs. So even the first 2 games there were double steals going on, first and third stealing home. A lot of things happening as he's timing the pitcher, and great breaking ball for a strike 3 out, and chance for Olimpija goes south. And we are back in the feed, leading off Benjamin Goffau. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, as I'm gonna have a lot of problem with the Belgium last name, but his name is easier to pronounce, so I'll just we'll go with the Benjamin. So Benjamin is pretty good hitter, leadoff with 377 average in Belgium league, and leading the team with a lot of 11 stolen bases. So it's definitely a threat when he's on bases. And let's see, takes a pitch, really high ball, all the way to the fence, and it's a leadoff home run. He takes the Garrett Perkins, the American pitcher, pitching for Olimpija, and his international debut. And he takes him deep for a lead for the Pioneers, 1-0. Just one home run this year for Benjamin, but he hits his second home run of a season at the right time as Pioneers take a lead. And let's see how American pitcher from Oglethorpe College in Florida, Garrett Perkins, is gonna settle. Another shot, and this has a chance as well, and they go back to back on back-to-back pitches. What a start for the Pioneers, taking the ball deep to the left field over Kevin Volerich, who can just look as the ball was crossing over the fence. So quick lead by, that was Rizzi Lucas who took him deep. He has as well had a one home run this season, the whole season in Belgium League, but was able to take the Olympia's pitcher deep. And let's see again how he's gonna adjust. So Garrett had the little problems with the control the first game he pitched here in Croatia. That was the Open Croatian League in game in actually in Slovenia. The second game that he pitched here was much better. Six innings, no hit against arch rival Split. Another fly ball, and let's see if this will stay in the park. Bobo Gales going back and making nice catch on the fence. Good tracking of the ball by Bobo Gales, but three really deeply hit fly balls, and this one was on the deepest part of the park in Karlovac. If that was down the line, that would have a chance to go as well. And now with number 20, Dennis De Quint, and he is looking at his stats, 396 hitter in the Belgium League with the 19 RBIs and 2 home runs. And let's see how is he gonna be able to pick up the pitches that Garrett Perkins is delivering for Olimpija. Here we go, of course, a breaking ball, a little bit changing of going with the secondary pitch, but pretty good pitch by Garrett, and he will need to do so because they were jumping on a first pitch fastball. Like we said, the Garrett Perkins, just a young kid, just finished college, his first international experience, and looking to find his spot to play in Europe. Through great connection and a great friend of our Karlovac baseball, Manny Oliveira, who was a pitching coach for the Cubs and Marlins system for a few years, as Garrett delivers the off-speed pitch, and he's well known for his off-speed pitches as they're hard to pick up. He hides the ball real well, as I was mentioning. Manny Oliveira, who is working with him as a pitching coach, was the one who recommended him, and he said that his off-speed stuff is just filthy and hard to pick up. And let's see if Garrett is gonna be able to show that off. So far on this at-bat, it looked pretty good. Another secondary pitch but this one was low, I believe. Ball hit to the right field. A little bit problem with the sun, but not that much of a problem for Carlos Garcia for the third out. And 2-0 after first inning.
Hoboken u prednosti 2:0.
So it was exciting first inning as back-to-back home runs by Belgium team Pioneers, taking the 2-0 lead and taking early control of the game. And let's see how Olimpija will respond to that. Olimpija had a chance its first and second, 2 out, but was unable to score the runs. And now Carlos Garcia stepping up the plate. The pitcher of the first game and winner of the first game of Olimpija that Olimpija played against Vienna Wanderers. Dominantly the pitcher, but also has been shown a good bat control and had some crucial hits for the Olimpija in the last 2 years. Carlos playing the last 4 seasons for Olimpija Karlovac. A Venezuelan-born player grounds out to second base. Looks like it's gonna be easy out for the Pioneers. Pioneers itself are the Belgium team. The team got formed in 1930, so it is one of the oldest clubs in Europe. Actually had the chance to drive the guys today from the hotel, so we had a little talk. And well, they live in an area where in Belgium where the Dutch language is being spoken. So Hoboken is part of Antwerp. Like I said, team got formed in 1930, and they won their first title in 1962. Sorry, won the title in 1970, and then really a big drought up until late 2000s, 2009. But then 2009, 2010, 2011, and 12. So 4 championships in a row for Hoboken. As Pavel Karin strikes out, who is DH on today's game, and Jensen really showing a good pitching performance so far. Just 1 hit of Olimpija. And then again 8 years the Pioneers did not win, and then again 2020, the Corona season, 2021 and 2022. So again 3 championships in a row, and they're really sitting good this year, also in the Belgium League in the first place with 16-2 record. Squirrels are in second place, 12-5. So looks like a good generation of players, and that everything is fitting in a place, and they have high expectations of this tournament, and they showed it throughout all the games. Won their game pretty impressive against Vienna Wanderers, lost only 5-2 against Valencia, the Spanish team, who won this group that these teams are playing in, and now taking the control offensively and defensively as Benjamin Paulic takes a tough pitch, but it's a ball. Benjamin is a homegrown player of Olimpija, a young player I mentioned in previous games, but those who are new, Benny has a good bat control which he shows, but his speed is not that his not biggest asset as they were playing. Benjamin really good and unusual play here, 9-3 for the third out and another 0 for Olimpija. And we are back in the bottom of the second inning. 2-0 for the Pioneers. It was exciting first inning for the batters, going back-to-back home runs of Garrett Perkins, the leadoff, and the second batter. Then Garrett was able to settle in and start with his secondary pitches, and then really showed why Manny Oliveira, the really good friend of our baseball program, the pitching coach, the co-owner of academy in Dominican Republic and America, why he showed and why he was able to recommend Garrett. So let's see if Garrett is gonna be able to pick up where he left off last inning. A couple of wild pitches on the Garrett side. And Olimpija had a chance to score first inning but did not take advantage of first and second. Was unable to score. Second inning, pretty impressive pitching by Drew Jensen, the Belgian pitcher. Yeah, that's what we were talking about, the off-speed pitches that Garrett says, and Manny Oliveira was mentioning while catching him, it's really hard to pick up the ball where the ball is going, and then it's when he's on with that he is almost unhittable, but as he throws the ball high and walks the leadoff guy, and that was Ballardini Lino, pretty good hitter in the Belgian league, hitting 364. And now it's, if I'm right, be Desmet Kevin, hitting 310 in the Belgium league. No home runs, no triples, just one double. So looks like Kevin is a single guy and good bat control guy. And yes, he will. He got the bunt sign, pulled the bunt back, thinking this is gonna be a ball. It was an interesting play to end the top of the second inning. Benjamin Paulic drove the ball to the right field, but the outfielders were playing in and were able to convert unusual 9-3 play, force out to first base, robbing Benjamin Paulic of robbing him of a base hit. So foul ball here, a little bit hesitation by the umpire crew. So the hitter was not running, the runner took off, of course. As soon as you see the ball hit on the ground, you should run and then let everybody else make a decision. Unless you want to show off really that you got hit in a foot, but then you better be jumping and screaming so the umpire can pick up your vibes and maybe call a foul ball right away. Let's see how the young American pitcher Garrett Perkins will handle the second inning and second offensive attack. And there is the off-speed pitch is a lethal strikeout by Garrett Perkins. Good job. What a great pitch. And you can see actually who is batting. So I'm just gonna say Jason, and you figure out the last name. It's G. Sam Foek. If we go thinking Croatian in my head, the way I read it, hitting 167 on this tournament. Jason is a 267 hitter in the Belgium league, as he fouls this ball off to the foul to the right. 45 at bats, 12 hits, just one double, no home runs. A lot of RBIs, 11 RBIs for that. So let's see. The ball gets away from catcher, not gets away, just it was not blocked in proper way, but it goes in the books as a wild pitch. Maybe even a little crossing between the pitcher and the catcher. The signs here are given traditionally. The catcher gives the signs, and with runners on second, they're gonna go into sequences. There's no help like you do have in the Major League Baseball, which I kind of consider not really baseball, but a pop-up young Bartol Bosanac, who we mentioned a lot in the last two games, that he had really good defensive and a base running games as well. Really was a key factor in the first win of Olimpija in the first game against Vienna Wanderers, where he made a couple of unbelievable defensive plays and really good base running and good sliding. So youngster, just 16 years old, calls that ball and takes a charge on this pop-up, which yesterday in the second game was not the case, and we had a little talk after the game, and it's always hard for a youngster to. It was a pop-up behind the first baseman, which traditionally is the second baseman ball, and the first baseman, second baseman, and right field were converting, and being just a 16-year-old guy and playing with the guys who have a minor league experience, it's hard for a young player to call off such a big names in his eyes, and so he was a little bit shy. As there's a ground out, nice pickup by Benjamin Palic, throw across the diamond for a third out, and good defense by Olimpija, no runs. And we're talking about young Tomislav Bosanac, the second baseman for Bartol Bosanac. Sorry, I always have tendency to say Tomislav. This is his father and my long-time friend and a teammate. So actually working here, and he's responsible for this feed and changing the cameras. And this is why we have actually the picture and we're here. So I have tendency to call, of course, his son his name, but. Bartol Bosanac, as I was saying, a young guy, really, he got a chance, and the coach, player coach, Bobo Gales, recognized his hard work in a past year, as Bartol being a long time Olimpija player, went through the all young kids since the T-ball, and now playing for a senior team in his first international experience, first taste of international baseball, and he really took advantage of it offensively as well. Well, not on this at bat, but was able to get a couple of hits on really this tough European competition where those are the top European teams out of top 15. 8 or 7 out of top 15 teams are here, so strikeout by young Bartol Bosanac, and say there's a bright future ahead of him if he continues to work out and practice hard, and if injuries avoid him. So Kevin Volerich lead off for Olimpija. Swings and a misses on a pitch. Pretty aggressive swing, and Jansen Drew really showing some pretty good pitching. Look at that pitch, man. Did that curve a lot. Great breaking ball pitch or sweeper, look like. Little stop, a little hesitation. Bar Jansen wanted to throw the timing of Kevin, but Kevin did not bite for that. Ball low, pretty good zone awareness by Kevin, and a full count. See if Kevin is gonna be able to reach the base, and what pitch is gonna throw on 3-2 count. Goes with a breaking pitch for a strike 3 out. Jansen Drew, impressive, did not pitch much in Belgium League. The stats say just 7.2 innings, 2 games started, 2 games appearances, so not much, but looks like he's doing a good job so far. His ERA 3.52 in Belgium League. 10 strikeouts in 702 innings. That's not bad. And we said, yeah, Pioneers, it's a team on the rise, champion of Belgium last 3 years, so they're able to play in the European Cups, and obviously they've been together for a couple of years, formed a nice and competitive team that is seeking to go ahead and maybe play in Champions League next year. But this is why everybody is here, so to earn their country a spot. As Bobo Gales wanted to have that as a base and ball. He thought he already had it, and he was halfway there, already thinking ahead what to give himself as a sign, as Bobo is a player manager, player manager, I should say, and both coach and a manager as well. And a strikeout, and amazing performance by a pitcher, so another 0-0 for Olimpija Karlovac. Kaj ne radim cijelo vrijeme. A jebi ga, recite mi je. I really had a good talk for last 5 minutes, but I guess I was offline, so at least the people around me had a chance to hear everything, so a little bit of technical problems, and as you have seen, it was a leadoff was on a base, and Pioneers bunted him over, but then I would say a base running mistake by a base runner of Pioneers that should not go, and as we are taught, when you're a runner second with last 2 out, anything hit the right of you, if it's a little bit harder, or normal routine ground ball, you don't go. Anything left of you go. There is a steal attempt. Good steal attempt, little bit of miscommunication on Olimpija's defense, who is covering the second base, but in case you're joining us late, pretty impressive performance by a Belgian pitcher, Jansen, who in 3 innings struck out 6 Olympia's players, and Pioneer struck first with a leadoff home run, and then very next pitch, another home run, so back-to-back home runs. And good job by Phil Smith, but no, umpire says safe. I don't know if that's the case. The ball really beat him, but I guess it could have been the tag issue. But anyways, let's say with player manager Bobo Galitz is gonna have a talk with umpire and see what really happened there, because for sure from here the runner looked out. As I was saying, the Garrett Perkins, who is the pitcher of Olimpija, just first 2 batters hit home runs on his fastballs, and he's got pretty good off-speed pitches, which Manny Oliveira, who is the pitching coach, who was ex-pitching coach of in the Marlins system, in the Cubs system, owner of Academy in America and Dominican Republic, and he was the one who recommended Garrett to come here. And Manny is just a great guy who's working with the Karlovac's program for the last 6 years, I believe, and not just showing the players when he comes here, teaching the youngsters, but also teaching the coaches what the idea of mechanics here and what the pitching mentality should be. So runner third, a walk. Was, like I said, good defensive play by Alcala, who recognized that runner took off and that he has a chance to tag him, and there was almost another out on third base. But although it looked out, the umpire called safe. But I guess he had better view, and maybe you on the screen had better view than we had from here, so. Xander Versprit is batting 0 for 1 in today's game, batting 200. Hitting 300 even in Belgium League. 3 doubles, 12 singles, 9 RBIs. So more like a contact hitter guy. Not many strikeouts, just the 3 strikeouts, 9 base and balls. So obviously good bat control. First and third, and let's see if Pioneers is gonna try to do something, or they're just gonna kind of wait out and see how the things play out. 2 outs. And that's a balk. Balk being called on a good pitch. That's too bad. Actually, on a balk, I'm surprised a lot of players do not take advantage of that. Like this balk was being called, and that's a free swing for you. So you can swing and then the game continues if there is a ball hit, and then you can decide what you want to do. So maybe you have, you have a free swing to do so. So if you're a batter and you hear that balk before the ball is being delivered, and actually then the ball is being delivered, you can kind of hack, and just a freebie to take. But yeah, that's one of the specific of the rules. And also as a batter, it's hard. I've been in a couple of situations like that, I have to say, and I never took advantage of that rule, and really did not swing the bat, and you just kind of freeze when you see, especially with the runner on third, you're happy the run is being scored. So first and second, and there is that bread and butter for Garrett Perkins, his off-speed pitches, and pretty good off-speed pitch there, and a decent velocity that Garrett has, especially for the European standards. And then the off-speed pitches work off that real well. So good stop by Phil Smith, but unfortunately was not able to control completely that pretty wild pitch. I'm surprised the ball didn't go through, as he got hit in a fist or forearm, or that's why I said that's the toughest position on the field, being the catcher. I mean, you get constantly hit, beat up, and you're like, if you don't block the ball, a wild ball in the dirt, people actually complain to you. So that's the toughest position to be in there, and I have a lot of respect for the catchers, although I actually was never a catcher. I just caught few innings in my life, mostly played infield and pitched, so shortstop, third base, second base, and then a good hack. Let's see if Bobo Gales can track that down. He cannot. It goes over his head for another 2-run, and looks like this game is going a little bit out of hand of Olimpija. Pretty excited hitter on a second base, and he should be pumped. That was a great hit. Split the outfield. Bobo Gales, although has a speed and has ability to track the ball really well, was unable to catch that ball. So that umpiring decision still sticks in the back of the head of Olimpija, as they thought they're out of the inning without the run, and suddenly the game gets turned around, and it's 5-0 Pioneers in 3 innings taking the charge of this game. And it's the way the pitching of Pioneers is looking. It's not looking too promising for the home team if they don't really turn something around very quickly. But let's see, another chance for Pioneers to score one more run with runner in scoring position and 2 outs. Really did a damage. Foul ball. Pretty good hitting team, I would say. They average 330 in the Belgium league. I mean, that is really impressive. We all know it's not the major league, so you're not expecting 200 batting averages to get paid millions of dollars. But any league that your team is averaging 330, and I would consider to be Belgium one of the top leagues and toughest leagues in Europe, definitely in the top 10 of European leagues. So that's pretty impressive, and for sure there is a reason why they're in the first place, and where they're champion of Belgium for the last 3 years, as Olimpija Karlovac is a champion of Croatia in the last 3 years as well. Olimpija Karlovac in a history had won the 18 Croatian titles, and Croatian finals are played, and semifinals and finals are played as a Croatian series. Best of 5 games in. Ooh, that looked pretty good. And you can see on Olimpija's players really disbelief, but the way they are reacting shows that really they're not focusing on a game, but just focusing on things outside they cannot control. So. And that leaves the mark for everybody, and it's always a bad sign when you see that, and you see then things like this start to happen. Overthrow by a catcher. Fortunately, it was not something that was costly, so yeah, you have to go. I mean, umpires call their game the way they see it. They are humans as well, so they're able to make mistakes like everybody does on the field. So we've seen players make worse errors than umpires make on strikes and balls. So this is just a normal course, and if you're playing baseball, you have to deal with it. That's the human factor in it, and you shouldn't be able to lose your cool no matter what is happening. I mean, of course, it's easier said than done when you're down on the field. And yeah, I was not an angel certainly myself when it comes to showing my expression on certain calls to the umpire. But as you grow older, you are able to control that and understand the game, and not really not. Trying not to lose your cool over the things that you cannot control, no matter how hurtful for you or unfair you think they are. So let's see if Garrett can bounce back from this. Good breaking ball, Garrett. Good job. Way to come in with that pitch. First and second, 5-0. Really, Pioneers taking advantage of what Olimpija thought was game-ending, caught stealing at third base and end up being saved, and the balk, and then another hit that was just past the glove of Bobo Gales in the center field for kind of the demanding lead, 5-0. And the way the pitcher of Pioneers, Jensen, is pitching with six strikeouts in first 3 innings, it doesn't look too good. Like we said before, the winner of this goes. This is directly the game that will decide who is the second semi-finalist. It's the foul ball down the third base line. So the winner of this game is gonna go to the semi-final to face off what we've seen so far, the best team on this tournament, the Marlins from the Tenerife, the Spanish team. It's loaded with the players and the pitching, and also the leaders in the Spanish league. So, and Spanish league being in the top 3-4 leagues in Europe. And here Garrett show his off-speed pitches with a strikeout, but another 3 runs for Pioneers, 5-0 number 3. Hit me, Tomislav, are we on? Tomislav says we are. Last time we had a problem, so we'll make sure this time that we hear each other before talking. Had really great 5 minutes of talk that nobody heard by the people around me, so I tried to repeat everything else after, but yes, people around me says we heard you, so at least it was audience of 20 people around me sitting in the stands. They're able to hear that. And as Petar Rumara steps in for Olimpija, Karlovac takes first 2 pitches. for a ball. It was pretty good bottom of a third inning for the in this game home team Pioneers from Belgium. Olimpija is a visitor in this game and is way sitting in a first base dugout, which is unusual for the players. But these are the European tournaments where everybody has even chance to be a home team or visitor team. So you have to you give your field to everybody and you abide by the rules of World Baseball Softball Confederation. So Petar Umara, we mentioned, national team player and joined and played for the Karlovac first time 2 years ago. Also joined for the Croatian national team. So Pero, really good teammate and a lovable kid, and takes a ball and a lead off. And let's see if Olimpija can respond to the 3 runs that Pioneers had put up in third inning. And heart of the lineup for Olimpija, Pero Rumara, Phil Smith and Yorman Alcala, and let's see if they can do something with it. And Pero Rumara, you might not think, but he's a base stealing threat, and he is able to steal the bases. I don't know if Pioneers were scouting him, and then they decided, as Phil Smith takes a big cut, trying to crush the ball. And as he is known in this area of the world as Ohio Bomber. And hits the ball to right field, but tracked back by the outfielder for rather easy out. Now Yorman Alcala steps in, first at bat, strikeout. Yorman, a young Venezuelan player, recommended by Simon Radicic, who has a agency in Venezuela for sending the players. A lot of good players are in his agency, so if you need a Venezuelan player and you need a good recommendation and connection, let me know, as Yorman drives the ball to the left field and it drops down. Let's see if they're gonna score. Now they are stopping Pero Rumara at third base, and good job by Yorman Alcala. As I was saying, Simon Radicic, who has a Croatian roots, you would not believe where you can find Croatians everywhere around the world. The Croatians are, so even in Venezuela we're able to find a Croatian guy. His grandparents actually born in Croatia. Simon Radicic, really nice kid, also a coach, and I believe he's right now on assignment in Italy. And we had a talk, and we're hoping he's gonna join even the Croatian national team, junior national team, to help out. But his obligation toward his professional contract in Italy kept him from doing so. But in case you need good Venezuelan players and you need good recommendation, let me know. DM me on Facebook, or just DM our team, and we're gonna be able to connect you with Simon Radicic. And as he's sending quite a few players around Europe, and it's always good to have somebody to vouch for you, for the players who is there, because usually you're deciding only based on a couple of videos, and in videos the things can look good because you show your highlights, so those are your best moments. But when you actually have somebody to talk about and explain what kind of mentality and what do you need from a player, then it's much easier. And that's how Yorman Alcala finished here, as Olimpija was searching for a shortstop and somebody who can catch. And indeed, Olimpija got such a player who plays great defense and has good bat control and is able to hit for doubles, occasionally showing up a home run power. Not a home run hitter, of course, Alcala, but he's able to put the ball over the fence when needed. So Carlos Garcia is another Venezuelan, and a guy with the experience, minor league experience, has a ring in a minor league for the Boston Red Sox organization, and it fouls the ball back, and we were ducking down. That looked pretty good. Up here, it was going for us. It's going after us, so we can shoot it legally as it's going after us. So Carlos Garcia, although a pitcher, and a pitcher of course in a minor league, that's why he was there, left-handed pitcher, but showing off really a good bat control and hitting for the last 2 years here, playing outfield today. So yes, another strikeout and a key spot for a Belgian pitcher, Jensen. 7 strikeout, and now Pavel Karin, the homegrown player, a pitcher of yesterday's game, had a pretty good game against tough team, and Pavel is more a typical, I would say, left-handed batter that doesn't pull the ball much. Usually his hardest balls are hit opposite, and let's see if he's gonna be able to do so. He choked up on a bat heavily from the beginning, expecting a fastball, and he got it, but a fastball in, and he did not go for it as a ball. Let's see if Pavel Karin is gonna be able to put the ball in play and actually score runs. And right there, hitting up, but outfielder right there to make a stop and make a catch. So no runs, a lot of left on base for Olimpija in this tournament and today as well. So another 4-0 for Olimpija. And we continue the bottom of the 4th inning. The Pioneers have a commanding lead, 5-0. Great pitching performance by pitcher Jensen of the Pioneers, shutting down the defense completely. Olimpija had a chance in first inning with first and second 2 outs, did not capitalize. Had a chance now, second and third, 1 down, did not capitalize. So this might come back to hurt Olimpija greatly. I don't know how this ball got through the fence. It's pretty mysterious to me. It's really strange. Well, there is either it's amazing magic, or we do have some hole in the backstop. It was amazing how this ball, it kind of bounced off and hit in the middle of this. Is pretty big and impressive backstop. But yeah, during the summer it's a wire, so Nice play by Alcala, showing the range arm, and a good pickup by Pero Rumora. Great showing, flashing off leather both of the guys for pretty impressive out. It was kind of a wild play as Garrett Perkins, I don't know, did he throw the glove or just the glove fell out of his hand? Pretty strange to see. So two crazy things happened. First the ball goes through, which is unbelievable hole in backstop. Now the glove flies off, but it ended up being nice play by Alcala, showing the range to his glove side, and Petar Rumora really doing a good job of picking up that ball, staying low with the glove, and be able to pick up the ball while keeping the foot on a base. So great job great footwork by Pero Rumora. It's great to see that he's in the form. It's good for Croatian national team as Garrett Perkins is throws couple of pitches really wild. Garrett Perkins, it's a little bit wild than you would usually expect from American pitcher, but it's usually called effective wild. If you're around the zone, but just a little bit wild, and then kind of one goes in the dirt or over your head, it makes you think. And which reminds me of one of the best Croatian players, the lefty that we had, Marko Pavlaković Kivi, and he was like that, and it was tough to hit against him, and he would have a no-hitter, but with 7 bases and balls, so he was basically untouchable, and had really good career for European standards. He was a pretty tough pitcher, had a good breaking ball, and as a lefty had that fastball that actually would move in on the righties, but then just go down the plate. As we're gonna have a pitching change, I think that's all from the Garrett Perkins on this tournament as he leaves the field, and the crowd recognizes his effort. Maybe not fully what we have expected, but he did have a couple of breaks, and local homeboy hero Toni Horvatić, Antonio Horvatić is joining in, and Tony's hometown player, played for 4 or 5 years in Bundesliga as well. Still young player, but last year, I talked about it yesterday, last year proposed to his longtime girlfriend. He's getting married this year, so settling in, not much time for practice, a lot of times has to go to work to provide for his new family, but excellent pitcher, and one of the best Croatian born pitcher or born player at all. So up there with Bobo Gales and Kruno Gojković for sure, and Andrija Tomic from Split. I mean, those are the names when you hear, and those are the guys who are up there as far as the Croatian born player is going. So Toni Horvatić enters in relief, and Toni was a great reliever 2 years ago in a national team. Really was a DH, was able to come in and stop almost any team. Had a good run against Italy team in the quarterfinals. Unfortunately, just one bad pitch that he threw. The national team of Italy took advantage of it, and it was a home run that put Italy ahead. And as a Croatian national team lost that game 8-5, and coach of Italian national team was Mike Piazza, who really showed respect after the game to the Croatian team, and a really nice and lovable guy. He came over, you never want to disturb the guy who is a Hall of Famer, a major leaguer, but he made sure he came over to us, introduced himself, which is funny, to all our coaching staff before the game. So just a class act by Mike Piazza. As Toni gets a pop-up, let's see if it is gonna drop or not, and it drops, unfortunately. Kevin Volerich unable to control that. That's too bad for Olimpija defense, as this looks like it should have been out, and Kevin Volerich knows it. I don't know, did he had the first step that he misread it. It started off high and hard, but it was really high, so looked like a catchable ball. But yeah, so I was saying Mike Piazza, being class act, really came to us before the game and introduced himself to us like we didn't know who he is. Pick-off attempt. Safe, as the runner is slid in awkwardly and is rolled on his back. And then, yeah, after the game, again, he came over because Croatia had Italy had a chance to win that game and advance to semifinals, which would be the biggest upset of that tournament and just biggest accomplishment of the Croatian national team, who had played before in the quarterfinals 2001 against the Dutch team, which it's that famous game where Croatia was leading 7-2, and then just everything melted within 2 innings. Croatia was unable to stop the offense. One error made it 7-4, and then the closers came in and were unable to throw strikes. So 8-7 was that game, and as I talk about it, it is a painful experience, as I was in the shortstop end. Double steal and a hard hit ball. If it's fair, it's gone. It is fair, and it is gone, and it's a 3-run home run by Pioneers, taking complete control of this game, 8-0, and it just silenced the crowd here in Karlovac, and you can hear the fly buzzing by. Just the crowd is totally stunned, expecting their local hero, Toni Horvatic, to shut down the offense, but unfortunately, Drew Jensen, who is the really amazing pitcher today, is able to put the ball over the fence for a 3-run home run and a commanding lead. And you can hear coaches and Dario Latkovic, who is helping out as a coach, yelling at the field, "Let's keep it up, boys, keep it up, boys, continue to play." And it's hard and draining like that on a games. You thought you had an out on that fly out, but then, as baseball is, it's amazing game, and it's game that gets turned around. Ground ball to third base to Benjamin Paulic. Throw across the diamond, and very bad throw for Benjamin, and it does not look promising for Olimpija. Really, Olimpija looks kind of deflated at these moments, and if they don't stop the bleeding real soon, this game can really get out of control and finish as a mercy rule game, the way the things are looking right now on the field. So the goal for Olimpija was, and we talked before the tournament, to make it to the semifinals and then see what happens, as a little bit tight zone by the umpire, not giving Toni Horvatic the strike. A good lead, and a backdoor pickoff for an out. A good defensive play. Good defensive play by Olimpija. Toni Horvatic turning around. Wrong way, the way they say it. But it was effective wrong way, because he made an out. So that really helps out, I don't know. The Pioneers really wanted that. A high hit fly ball, enough room for Bobo Gales, and the third out of the inning. But unfortunately for Olimpija, a 3-run home run that stunned the crowd, made it 8-0 for the Pioneers after 4.
Nakon
Drew Jensen continues to pitch. Really pretty impressive pitching performance. 7 strikeout by Drew Jensen, no runs, and really helping himself out, hitting a 3-run home run just in the bottom of the 4th inning, and that was the 3rd home run of a day for Pioneers team. They lead it off with a home run, went back to back to open the game, and then in the 3rd inning scored another 3-run on what was supposed to be end of the inning, but it wasn't. At 3rd base, that was a call that Olimpija thought was a 3rd out, and took a little bit of focus of Olimpija, really dwelling on umpire's call, and then that cost them a couple of runs. And then very last inning, the 3-run home run by Jeser, who continues to dominate. What a pitching performance! 8 strikeout. He strikes out Benjamin Paulic, who is tough to strike out as a batter, but Jensen able to do so for the 8th strikeout, and young Bartol Bosanac steps in and see what Bartol can do here. Bartol 0 for 1 with 1 strikeout, hitting .375 on this tournament. Had a couple of infield hits and 1 hit to the right field. Good breaking ball by Jensen for a strike. It drops in. And another strikeout. And put out to first base as ball hit the dirt, so catcher did not catch it. So runner has then ability if he on 3rd strike to run, try to, let's say, steal the first base, which Bartol wasn't able to do so. Not the real steal that they wanted to implement, and tried it out in a minor league. That fortunate breaks between the innings, and as Kevin Volerich just licks the ball with the bat and it gets stuck in a fence, and Bobo Gales takes it out. And in European baseball, you're gonna see there's no bad boys, so whoever is on deck is responsible to pick up the ball and bring it to the umpire. Strike 3 out. Jensen dominating this game, and just everybody unhappy with the calls, and that's the sign that team is getting nervous. That's never a good sign, I would say. Too much of talking about the umpire, but when there's 3 home runs hit, I don't know, you should be really blaming the umpires that much. Although we have to say a couple of questionable calls went against Olimpija. So Pioneers looking to score another couple of runs, maybe finish this game quicker than anybody expected. We all thought this is gonna be a tight game, low-scoring game, and it is a low-scoring on Olimpija side with dominant pitching, but not really brilliant performance by Olimpija. Karlovac pitching so far has ground out to shortstop, and Alcala records the first out of the fifth inning. And Pioneers looking to add 2 runs, and there is a mercy rule here after 5 innings, 15 runs, 7 innings, 10 runs. So 8-0 right now, and does not look too good for Olimpija. But let's see if they still have a willpower to turn it around, as Tony Horvatic replaced Garrett Perkins, who did a decent job on a lot of batters, but couple of batters and loss of concentration and a little bit loss of strike zone was costly for him. He got taken out in the 4th inning, and Tony Horvatic replaced him, but right away that was a 3-run homer for Pioneers. A foul ball that near the scoreboard where the kids are, but everybody's safe. Strikeout by Tony Horvatic, who did not pitch much this year at all. Like I said, actually very few games that he played in Croatian league, as his life took him to Austria, as he's working in Austria, and then whenever he has off, he travels back home to Croatia. Likes to work quickly, quick tempo. Let's see if Bartol can handle that, and he does. So really good job by Bartol Bosanac getting the 3rd out.
Završila je 5. izmjena, Olimpija 0, Hoboken 8.
And top of the 6th inning, Bobo Gales. Let's see if Olimpija can show some life with the bats and maybe turn this game around, or just threaten a little bit and maybe get Drew Jensen, who's pitching a great game, getting off the mound and getting a bullpen. Bobo Gales falls off this pitch. 10 Ks for Drew Jensen, really impressive. 10 Ks in 5 innings. I mean, wow. That means that 2 batters are struck out and just 1 was able to put a ball in play per inning. So, wow, another foul ball just brushed off against backstop and reached top of the fence. And if somebody was standing, that would be a dangerous ball out there. Lefty foul balls have tendency to reach the stands here in Karlovac. The stands are spread behind home plate and all the way to the 3rd base side. So when lefties hit those foul balls, they're usually hard hit to that side. It just can be dangerous. if somebody's standing on the top steps, but everybody's sitting down, so everybody's good to go. And another foul ball by Bobo Gales, and Jensen really pounding the zone, not trying to do too much, just attacking the Karlovac hitters. He did smell a blood, and he's just pounding the zone and going after another strikeout. And let's see if Bobo Gales can actually battle off this and reach the base. Another tough pitch breaking ball that Bobo Gales is able to foul off. So far pretty good at bat by Bobo Gales, especially if he can top it off with a base hit. It would be amazing. Bobo Gales, you may have seen, hitting 286 on this tournament. Bobo Gales played in his 597 games, so just 3 more games missing until the 600 game, and depending how Olimpija will do, if they reach semifinal, it will happen in the last game of the season. If not, it will happen in the first game of a playoffs, where it's gonna do really a nice, impressive 600 games. And Bobo Gales bringing hopes of Olimpija up, showing some spark, and hopefully the rest of the team can catch on that little spark that he showed, and they can really start hitting the ball and make this game competitive, as it looks like now it's 8-0, not too good for Olimpija and their chances to move to the semifinal. As this game and winner of this game will go to the semifinal. Let's see if the crowd is getting fired up as Petar Rumora is stepping in. So let's see if Pero Rumora can continue this good. As Drew Jansen is kind of shaking his hand off. I don't know what's the call. What's happening? The umpire is doing some checkup. And everybody's continuing, and we're gonna continue to play ball. So leadoff single by Bobo Gales, top of the 6th. Good pitch. Starting with secondary pitch, not giving that fastball to Pero Rumora that he would like to have. And time called, because center fielder is tying his spike. Like we said, Bobo is gonna be soon joining the 600 club, the feat that only 4 players in Olimpija's history are able to do so. Dario Latkovic played last year a 600 game, an even game. It was a great celebration here in Karlovac. As he caught that he was 599, wanted to retire, but we actually made him go play one more game to reach 600, which is amazing, and game full of the emotions, a lot of tears. A lot of tears were, the ball, Bobo Gales not really doing well. All fours and holding his hip. So we're gonna give him a little time and breathing room in order to collect himself. But like we were saying, Dario Latkovic, 600 game played last year. It was really emotional a game. I played a lot of games with Dario out of those 600, and especially when we were a pitcher and a catcher combination, Dario Latkovic being a catcher and one of the greatest Croatian defensive catchers. I mean, that's I say kid because he's younger than me, and I was already established senior when he came in to the senior team. But that's a kid that will block the ball in a bullpen. That type of catcher he was, really a hard worker, and you would often find him on the field just by himself with just a bucket of ball, and he would throw the ball behind him and turn around, take the mask down, make a slide, pick up the ball, and just simulate the throw back to home plate, and he really took pride in his catching. And even when he was in a baseball zone up in Toronto area with our great coach and great friend Rick Johnston. I mean, he was a celebrity there, and all the pitchers wanted to throw to him because even in the bullpen, like I said, he blocks the ball and he frames the ball, and you just feel so good pitching to him in a bullpen that just everybody wanted to, whoever was there, yeah, we want Bootsy as a catcher. So great kid, played 600 game, and then the third on the list is Mladen Krpanec with 700 games even, and he finished his career on 700 game, which is another amazing feat. And Mladen Krpanec being the great guy and a great teammate, and responsible for a lot of home runs and a lot of wins that Olimpija had in those late 90s and early 2000s was really the prime that it hit. Also a national team player, and the Golden Bear, like Jimmy Summers called him, and Golden Bear, Dancing Bear, a lot of bear nicknames were attached to Mladen Krpanec. Krpa, who is he does have a bear type of personality. He has strong arms, a big bear hug. So yeah, a lovable guy, and one of the legends, of course, of Olimpija Karlovac. As Pero Rumora takes a walk, and first and second here, and chance for Phil Smith, who to continue blowing into the fire, trying to start the big forest fire here in Karlovac. And Karlovac does need it, being 8-0 down in the 6th inning of this game that's gonna decide the second semi-finalist of this going from this group. 3 are already known. Actually, this is the, let's say, the 4th then overall semi-finalist that will be. Things looking really good now for the Pioneers, but let's see if Olimpija can actually turn it around with heart of the lineup being here. Let's see if Phil can do something cool with his bat. And Phil Smith, for him, and like the last few tournaments, European Cups, he was hitting above 500. Just kind of a stat popped up to me, which I shared a few years ago. He hit 684, I think, for some tournament. As he swings, a pop-up, and there is a room. No, they just ran out of the room, luckily for Phil Smith. So really unusual situation for Phil Smith not to have hit so far in the tournament. I mean, the guy who was a heart and soul of this team as far as the hitting is going, and hitting with a power, a lot of hits, a lot of RBIs for Phil. And yeah, with a lot of zeros and a lot of chances go by, you can feel that Olimpija needs him to turn around, and it's never too late in a game of baseball to turn the game around. And let's see if Phil can carry over what the team is kind of steering up, if things are coming. Not on this pitch, and he got called a strike by the first base umpire. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I hear a lot of fans, of course, commenting umpire, but this is like that in Croatia. As soon as you start losing, you're gonna shift the focus on umpire. Backdoor pick, not even closely good as Olimpija did, but Phil Smith taking deep breaths, concentrating. Important at the bat for Olimpija. A steal for Olimpija. Bobo Gales continuing the run, and he's gonna score now. Safe! Wow! Wow! What a play by Bobo Gales! Wow! Avoiding the tag. A great job. I mean, ball beat him, but Bobo Gales showed the hand and then grabbed with the other hand the home plate for a first run of Olimpija, and maybe Maybe this is a turning point for Olimpija. The coach of Pioneers protesting because it looked it's gonna be out by 10 feet, but really slick and sneaky play by Bobo Gales and showing off his experience on a basis, and he spent a lot of his baseball days on a basis as he was always above 400 hitter in a Croatian league, so a lot of time on a basis he did spend, and he's able to take aggressive base running, which unfortunately was looking like an out into the first run for Olimpija. And let's see if this is the spark that team needed. Coach player really showing and showing by example, as Phil Smith just off his fist, and Phil Smith is just not himself. I mean, if you're looking Phil Smith for the first time on this tournament, you might get completely wrong impression of who he is as a hitter. But it's always tough, these European tournaments, and I said that in the first game. You might have the best week of your life, and then you look like 800 hitter. But if you're a really solid hitter and you have your worst week of the life, then you look like somebody who is playing baseball for the first time, which definitely Phil Good Smith is not. But our heart is with him, and hopefully he's going to be able to turn it around in the games that Olimpija has left in this tournament. As Yorman Alcala takes another ball, and let's see if Yorman can repeat the hit he had last time, the double down the left field line. And Yorman not catching up, and yeah, they're gonna walk. Yorman, no, they're showing 4. Yeah, the pitcher is showing 4. And they're yelling 4. They want to walk him, but the umpire doesn't want to walk him. A little bit miscommunication and a funny situation. Pitcher wanted to walk him. The umpire didn't really get it, what they wanted to do. So, and I'm not sure if coach really wanted to do that as well, but they walk Yorman, and they're expecting, and they pitched him like they want to walk him anyways. So not really giving in anything to Yorman, not taking chances, and not trying to get Olimpija just to this one run, not to get them back in a baseball game. And Carlos Garcia now has a really important role to play in this game. A pitcher in the first game pitched 144 pitches for a W, and win against Vienna's Wanderer, which was 8th time those teams played together, and Olimpija is now 7-1 record with Vienna Wanderers. This is the first game Olimpija and Hoboken Pioneers, so never really met up in European competitions, although Olimpija played European competitions 23 times, being 18-time champion of Croatia. Played in a lot of European tournaments, and the Pioneers really playing good last 3 years, being champions of Belgium. And it's always Belgium and Croatian teams are kind of even in European level, national teams as well. Call strike, but yeah, the crowd is a little bit getting into it and not really liking the calls of the umpire. For me, it's always hard to judge, so I cannot say anything, and I will not say anything. It's umpire is right there, so he calls what he sees. Carlos Garcia jumps out now. The pitcher of Pioneers is not happy, which means that zone is getting inconsistent. So tough time by the umpire right now. It's a really tough spot to be on. And I've been calling a couple of kids game, and it's not easy to call as Carlos Garcia swings. Maybe tries to do too much. What Olimpia needs is a couple of singles, doubles to turn the game around. Even with the one swing, they're gonna be able to cut the lead, but not that much. So it's more important for a couple of others to have a base runners on and kind of to carve into that lead. And there is a hit to the first baseman, goes to for a double play, but no, a wild throw which will score a run, and a mistake, error, throwing error scores in another run for Olimpia, as Olimpia has two, and now Pavel Karin steps in, and it's really important for Pavel Karin to keep this line going, and if him and Benjamin Pavlic can get on base and turn it over to young Bosanac and turn over the lineup, it would be a good position then for 7th, 8th and 9th inning for Olimpia to maybe make this game interesting. And it's 8-2 right now. Pavel Karin takes the ball high. A local kid, a lovable kid here in Karlovac. 33-year-old, or he will turn 33, Pavel Karin. Impressive career with Olimpija Karlovac. Played in college, not in college, sorry, in a high school team in America. 484th game for Pavel Karin here as he hacks at that ball, and it was pretty good cut. He was on it. Unfortunately for him, he did not go into the field. And now he's in a hole, and that's it. Olimpia was able to kind of get to the Janssen after a really amazing pitching performance and 10 strikeouts in 5 innings. Pavel Karin going after a high one, and he was right on it for fouling off a pitch. As we can see, the outfield this time playing a little bit different. Pave now expecting that opposite, so the left field much more toward the fence that it was before. And we know Pave can drive the ball and even put the ball over the fence, and let's see if he's gonna be able to do so here. Key spot, Pavel Karin fouls off, breaking ball. So that's these all foul balls add up. They all add up, and if Olimpia can get really dominant pitcher off the mound, you never know what might happen. And let's see, I don't know how many pitches Janssen has. Let me look at the stats. 109, and he's gonna go for 110. Yes, Pavel Karin. Let's see if the Pioneers will ride out their pitcher. 10 strikeout, 4 bases and balls, 2 earned run for Janssen Drew so far in this game. 110 pitches. Let's see. And strikes out Powell off speed, and it's gonna be put out at first base. And Olimpia was able to cut the lead a little bit, 8-2, but they have to continue to play defense in order to stay in this game and have a chance to turn it around.
Olimpija smanjila na 8-2.
And I'm back. It's a hard position being an announcer, and with a lot of crowd here, it's hard to get to the toilet quickly. So sorry to share that, but in case you knew, it was not a technical problem. It was a physical problem this time. Not problem, just a need. As first and second, and one down. And here comes the Jensen with last time a 3-run homer of Antonio Horvatic, making that big 8-0 lead at that time, and Olimpija was able to come back and score 2 runs. But it's this crucial inning that Olimpija has to put a 0 on a board in order to stay in this game, as outs and innings are running out, and as a winner of this is gonna take a last semi-final spot, as 3 are already decided. So the winner of this game is gonna face off the number 1 seed team from the other group, which is a Spanish team, Tenerife Marlins, where our friend and national team player for Croatia, Jose Diaz, is playing for that team. Jose Diaz was, as Tony Horvatic strikes out a tough batter after 3-run homer. It's a strikeout, so good job by Horvatic, showing the poise on a mound. And we're talking Jose Diaz, who is played in Croatia for 2 years, 1 year for Olimpija, another year for Vindia. Really recommended by Manny Oliveira, great guy, played minor league in a Marlins system, yeah. So he's back to the Marlins organization, just a different one on this time in Spanish on Tenerife. Really did a good job for Croatian national team 2 years ago on opening game against Germany, a huge win for Croatia, which allowed Croatia to take second place in the group and play that quarterfinal game against Italy. And Croatia ended up being 7th of that European Championship, which is the biggest accomplishment of the Croatian baseball played twice in the quarterfinals, like we said, 2001 against Holland, and then it was 2021 against team of Italy, and both of the times the crucial games were against Germany. In 2021 the championship was in Germany, and Germany was a home team, and Croatia stunned that team with Jimmy Summers, and pitching performance of that game was amazing. So looks like a run for the Pioneers, and they extend the lead down the middle, hit across the second base for a 9th run, and Pioneers are adding up and not staying cold, extending that lead. I don't know what's happening with Olimpija defense, but everybody's kind of moving toward shortstop, toward the outfield. And Bobo Gal is there, who did get hit in a hip, so maybe just giving him time. But the 2-out single gave a 9th run to the Pioneers. So I was talking to Jose Diaz, so he's on Marlins roster, and pitched real good, which is good for in the Spanish league, which is good for Croatian national team. And he says he's supposed to throw tomorrow, so we'll see if he's gonna take a mound tomorrow. And it's a nice kid. Again, recommendation by Manny Oliveira. Ball to Yorman Alcala, who fires across the diamond for a 3rd out, but Pioneers are able to add one more run, 9-2 after the 6th inning.
Kraj 6. izmjene. 2.
Pioneers, Olimpija was able to score their first run in 6th inning, and we do have a pitching change, which I believe is going to be a relief for Olimpija hitters, as really pretty impressive and dominant performance by Drew Jansen, who pitched 6 innings, striking out 10, and really did amazing job of keeping Olympia's player off balance. So good job by the Belgian pitcher, and Olimpija was able to score in the 6th inning, capitalize couple of defensive mistakes that Pioneers made, and to score the 2 runs.
Imamo I dobitnika tombole. Dakle, broj 18701.
Olimpija players not liking the announcement of a PA, as it happened close to the at bat of Benjamin Paulic, but I believe it was right after his swing. It was just the winner of the lottery that it's happening here, and the winner of the lottery is coming in. Cristina Peris, a long time basketball player and everything in women's basketball in Karlovac she is, so good job for her. She's a lucky winner. Bartol Bosanac fouling off. Ball in the dirt. Bartol not fishing for it. It was a Benjamin Paulic who struck out as a PA announcer was announcing the winner, so was a little bit move disliked by the Olimpija coach, but hey, things happened. If Olimpija was up 9-2, that probably wouldn't be such a big problem. Bartol Bosanac down the line, the third base. Is he gonna be able to go to the two? Yes, he's grabbing for two, and stand up double by Bartol Bosanac. That's how you answer. Firing up the offense of Olimpija. Let's see if this will carry over to the beginning of the top of the lineup for Olimpija. Let's see if Olimpija can actually do something more here and make this game a little bit closer. 9-2, 7 runs behind the new pitcher that came in, so maybe Olimpija will get lucky with this pitcher as Kevin Volaric takes a cut, but a foul ball. So Lucas Rizzi on a mound now for Pioneers, and let's see. Kevin Volaric takes a ball low, not fishing for it. Let's see what Rizzi did. 2 wins, 1 loss, 14 inning pitched in a Belgium league. So, what 0-0 ERA? Good job for him. How about that? Let's see if he's gonna be able to keep that here with Bartol Bosanac's double and Kevin Volaric. And 11 strikeouts, 10 base and balls, so maybe 10 base and balls in 14 innings. Yeah, maybe Olimpija should be patient a little bit, especially down. And Kevin Volaric is 3-1 count, and he hacks at the next pitch. Yeah, not really happy with himself. That's the pitch he should be driving to the outfield. A high fastball. And he was just missed it, but those are the days. Just inches decide this game, this beautiful game, and Kevin Volaric are able to hit the ball to right field. Coach is waving Bartol Bosanac, pretty well throw, which will let Kevin go to the second base. Kevin is sticking for third, no, stopping right there, and there is again, crowd is responding, and Olimpija, with this hit, Kevin Volaric gets I don't know what the catcher is, has problem with the bat. It was probably the bat, the way that Kevin threw the bat. I don't know what is really happening. I guess he did throw the bat that hit the catcher or something. And they're appealing the play. Let's see what is happening. They're gonna check the bat and see what that bat is. No, they're going in a dugout, Olimpija dugout, and I don't know what's happening. It might be a legal bat or something. I don't know. We're gonna see, because here you're just able to. You have to play with a wood bat, and it has to be one-piece wood, so no composite bats that are basically wood but kind of glued together are able to do so, and umpires are checking the bat. But also, not every wood bat is eligible for a game. It has to be on a list of the World Baseball Softball Confederation. It has to be approved, and I don't know what they're actually checking out, the brand of the bat, and I don't know how that came to light right now, but they are returning the bat and not really saying anything right now, explaining to the coach, to the Belgium coach, and Bobo Gales is right there, and crowd not really liking this, what is happening, but they're gonna check with the officials, and we're gonna see what's going on. Unusual and untypical, and crowd really not liking, crowd really responding to this. The Belgium team not trying to stop this momentum that the Olimpija is trying to build, and certainly are able to do so. So I don't know what the bat is, but the bats should be checked before the game, I guess. I don't know if that ever happened before. I never seen this in European tournaments, and I've been on quite a few ones. Crowd booing, not liking this call, delay of a game, and it's seventh inning as sun is setting down. So now they're yelling that he did use it for the whole game, but it doesn't really matter. It came to the attention now, so if that's a legal bat, I don't know what the ruling is. If it's just a batter out or just suspension of the batter itself, maybe just thrown out of the game. But I don't know. Then the call gets reversed, or what the ruling is. We'll try to find out with the scoring crew what's happening, and anyways, if that's illegal bat, that's really on Olimpija side not to have even that bat, because in local leagues, in Croatian league, interleague, you're allowed to play with the composite bats, and which of course teams that are lacking the funds have tendency to use the composite bats, because they are heavy duty and they don't break as much as normal wood bats. And then for the European tournaments, you obviously you have to have a set of wood bats in order to play, which Olimpija did have, but it's a matter of separating. It's a matter of separating those bats and not using them in tournaments like that. And I don't know what it's taking that long, but I don't know, are you making a call right away, or this is something you appeal during the game? But well, players are discussing on the field, and it's those are heated up arguments, not in the wrong way heated up arguments. There is no question that it's teams attacking each other in a way. It's just that's the way the game is, and I'm sure they just want to continue and play the game. So that's the problem. Is this game got delayed half an hour, and we will have a problem with the lights, and it would be a shame that this game got stopped in the 8th inning or so before finishing, because it's a crucial game that it's deciding who will be in a semi-final spot, and this is not doing good for anybody. I don't know what they're doing, but the officials are not ready to go, and let's see, try to find it the first hand. I kako će provjeriti to? Koje je pravilo? I really happening, but it's delaying the game, and it's I don't know what the ruling is actually. You know, everybody's there, and the TC and everybody around it. It's they're talking, but not really making any decision, and probably not typical situation. So they have to go to the rule book and check it out. What happens in situation like that? And like I said, I do not have experience with this, never experienced it, so I cannot tell you from the first hand what is happening. And I did not dig that deep into the rules, so I'm not really. I cannot say anything, but just tell you what I hear and see around me happening. You cannot see because camera is not reaching those spots. It's behind the home plate where the official scorers are, and the umpires are there right now. And as the guys are on the field, chit-chatting about baseball and about the situation, which it's good to see. Although it is a baseball game and it's a deciding game for the semi-final, the teams are kind of bonding, let's say this way. But I don't know. So what the coach is arguing, you know, they actually that bat got taken to the dugout, and then they just kind of picked one bat. So what the manager of Olimpija, Bobo Gales, is arguing, how do you know that this is the bat? There we have 10, 15 black bats there, and then he showed the other black bat. So now you tell me if this is the black bat or not. And as I am receiving the call, let's see if this is call connected to it. No, it's one of my friends calling me. I thought it's somebody who knows the ruling on this and that might give me a help. So yeah, I'm not taking this call. Sorry, my friend. You're obviously not listening to the game. Maybe you are at the game and you're searching for my explanation. But unfortunately, I cannot help you. So the big delay of a game so far, and it's just. It's kind of sad to see, and really officials and TC is really not ready to handle this situation the right way. As I said, the situation that doesn't happen really often, and I don't know why they didn't. Who that picked up or who said something? The catcher did. So yeah, I think the catcher did. So Bobo Gales is talking something, and this is gonna be a heated argument. Looks like. As he's talking to the catcher. But Bobo has definitely a point because the bat was checked after it was in the dugout, so unfortunately you cannot say which bat was where and which bat was hit, so maybe also a heads up play of Olimpija to bring that bat in the dugout before any of the official was able to check it. But hey, it's 9-3 ball game, guys. You know, continue to play. Whether or not it's not aluminum bat, it's not composite bat, it's maybe the wood bat that it's not on the list, the one they picked or whatever that it's to be the one. But just let's play baseball. Let's continue to play baseball because sun is setting here in Karlovac and no lights here, and then. The last thing we want was to last two innings to be played tomorrow morning, or even worse, this game gets called because of the dark in the 7th inning, with Olimpija losing the chance to come back due to the rule that nobody knows how to implement, because these rules should have been handled way quicker. It's either illegal bat or not. Make up your decision and move on with the game. So everybody explaining there, and unfortunately officials There's coach Dario Latkovic, the catcher, talking to his catcher, to the catcher of Belgium team. So just unfortunate situation. It just killed the pace of the game and comeback of Olimpija. And well, we'll see how it's gonna affect the pitcher of Pioneers. Is he gonna get some warm-up pitches? But it's definitely taking effect on a game, and I'm amazed that they still were not able to handle this situation in the right way. So the guy is discussing calling. Let's see, the umpire crew is taking the bet there, and what they gonna decide. They're talking to the manager of Olimpija, and we'll see what the ruling is gonna be on the field. So let's play baseball. And like our fundraising campaign says, let them play ball. And they're discussing to the manager, and let's see what the ruling is by the gestures of Bobo Gales. Nothing is happening. So we're gonna continue the game like nothing happened, but we just lost maybe crucial 10 minutes of daylight to finish up this game in a regular way. And let's see if they know the count. The count is 1 or 1 down. No, there is no count. They're showing 1 down. So let's see if is this gonna affect the pitcher. I mean, he doesn't even get a warm-up pitch, which is again amazing. Let's see how he's gonna handle, and he throws the ball wild outside for Bobo Gales. Let's see if Olimpija can actually take this in their own advantage and make this game interesting and even turn the game around. Another ball. So tough spot for a pitcher, and actually the manager and a catcher did not do him that good by actually breaking his momentum and warm-up routine as he comes back with a strike. 9-3 ball game. We just had a like 10-minute delay due to the bat checkup, and it was confusing at the moment. And Bobo Gales swings hard, but swings through that ball. Was right on it, and Bobo Gales, the player, manager, and a true captain of this Karlovac team, 36-year-old, pops the ball up, and it's gonna be enough room for a Belgian player to make a second out. And unfortunately again for Olimpija, and fortunately for Pioneers. Let's see if Pero Rumara can carry the offense with 2 strikes with him and Phil Smith coming up. Phil Smith, who is still searching for his first base hit on this tournament. Looks like Lucas is settling in, so this break did not hurt him much as maybe someone would expect. 1-1. So Lucas gets an ERA, first time this year. It's not fair to have all the zeros, you know. 1 ERA still looks pretty good. Pere Rumara crushes the ball. Outfielder going back and making amazing catch in a center field. Wow, this might be just a game changer or game saver, let's put it this way. Because if this ball dropped, Olimpija would be on the wings, but 9-3, 1 run scored in top of the 7th inning.
Polovica 7. izmjene.
And we are back after the big delay we had due to confusion about the bet. Is bet legal or not? And I guess it ended up being legal, or maybe they will check later. I don't know. We'll have to talk to the managers. We did not hear the explanation. But anyways, 9-3, the Pioneers leading this game, and they were taking control of this game early. Right off the bat, lead-off home run, and then back-to-back on back-to-back pitches, a home run for 2-0 in first inning for Pioneers. Added 3 runs in third inning, and in fourth inning, the Olimpija starter Garrett Perkins had to be changed with Toni Horvatic, who then gave up a 3-run homer, and that's how it ended up being 8-0. Olimpija responded in the sixth inning with the 2 runs, but then right away the Pioneers added 1 more run, and Olimpija scored 1 in the seventh, and that's where we stand right now, 9-3, with shades getting longer, meaning the sun is setting here in K-Town, and Toni Horvatic breaking ball, strike out, and it's really good to see Horvatic performance. And we had a change as well. Duje Papic entered the game on a second base, so he replaced, I would say, Benjamin Paulic, as Bartol Bosanac got moved to third base. So first appearance for a young star on Olimpija team. Alcala catching it on a backhand, firing across the diamond, but low throw. Rumra was not able to handle, but chance to get out. And the ball hits the batter and stays behind, so leadoff error to the second base goes the runner. And we're mentioning Duje Papic, who since the beginning of the season is battling the elbow injury, and he's slowly coming back, and Olimpija is hoping to have him up and running for the playoffs, so first chance for him here to show off. It's great to see him back at the field, because it's always tough for a young player who is eager to play and who likes playing to be stuck on the sidelines with an injury, which gave opportunity for young Bartol Bosanac, and he really took it and is now staying in the game, as his defensive performances are respectable on international level as well. So pretty well pitched by Toni Horvatic, and Pioneers are moving the runner to third base, and a pretty good chance to score and get that 1 run back. It does not look promising for Olimpija Karlovac, as soon as they would score a run finally, then Pioneers are able to bounce back and add a run, and looking promising for the Pioneers as well as in this inning. So, and walk by Antonio Horvatic. So, like we said, Pioneers team that was formed in 1930, so really old team. 93 years of existence. That's really impressive for the world standard, major league standard, let alone European standard. So a pinch hitter is coming in, a player with number 76. So yeah, pretty impressive numbers in those. Won the championship, Belgian championship in 62, 1970, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012. So 4 years in a row. A great generation they had during that period. And 2020, there again a new peak started, winning the championship again, and 1 in 21, 1 in 22, looking good in their championship with 16-2 record, on top of the table, top of the standings, and looking good here and promising for the semi-final match tomorrow against Marlins of Tenerife, which will be at 5 p.m. Other semifinal game is going to be 1 p.m. and the Flyers will face off against Vienna Wanderers tomorrow morning. So the loser of this game has a day off tomorrow, which I guess a hit or run will definitely score a run, but an out at first base. Jorman Alcala was moving toward the shortstop, was moving toward the second base, ready to cover the base as the ball was pulled and hit. He had to retract back, but a good footwork by Jorman, and was able to compose himself and make this time a good throw against across the diamond. So run back, 10 runs for Pioneers, and it's hard when pitching and defense give up 10 runs. It's really hard to be in the game, and as we see young Sven Anic warming up in a bullpen with another base hit that will definitely out. No, I thought it's gonna score a run, but really bad base running mistake by the Belgium team. Not sliding. If he would just slow down and look like a sure safe and another run, but no, great job by the Olimpija defense. Maybe a pick-me-up play that get a crowd going.
Završila je 7. izmjena, Hoboken vodi 10-3.
And we had, after the 7th inning stretch, take me out of the ball game. Had a little problem finding the music here. Obviously, music has to be muted due to copyrights, and because the feed considers this as a live music, playing the music, so it blocks the feed. So that's why we always have to kind of shut down in between the innings, although we don't have any commercials. But as a Phil Smith is fouled the ball off, and Phil Smith in unusual little slump for him, still searching for that hit. Let's see if he's gonna be able to do so. Good eye by Phil Smith, not chasing that ball. Lucas Rizzi. I mentioned 1 ERA. It's not 1. It's 7. The stats show now, and Phil hits the ball to the right field, but it's gonna be short. Not be able to put it over the fence, and another out for Phil Smith. Top of the 8th inning for Olimpija, who is a hometown team, but not the home team in this game. So a little bit unusual setup for Olimpija players, not staying in their dugout, staying in visitors' dugout, visitors' bullpen. And Jurban Alcala, who had pretty good game today, had a double, and then showing respect to him as walking him intentionally. 1 strikeout, 1 intentional walk, and 1 double by Jurban. Does not bite for this pitch. Ball high. Let's see if Olimpija could really take advantage with this. A little bit wild pitches. Yes, strike 1. Misthrown ball by a catcher. The fans are chanting. It's a sign of everything. Fans here in Karlovac really hanging on to everything, looking for signs of change. And well, I guess they were right on this play. As and a double at the end of the day by Jurban Alcala. I don't know how they're gonna score it, but the ball did take a pretty high jump at third base, and High spend a lot of games there, and it has a tendency to rise. So if you're not really familiar with it, you're gonna on these bouncers stay lower than you actually should, because the ball many times bites that lip and takes the high hop. What happened here? So let's see if the fans were right about that sign. Jurban Alcala is, I don't know what they scored it, but not really. Carlos Garcia just is able to move the runner to third base, but more importantly now it's not really the Pioneers. All they want outs. For them, they have a commanding 7-run lead, so not really looking for the fancy things. They can afford a couple of runs easy without being nervous for the end result of the game. So Carlos Garcia as well, no hits so far on this tournament. So really two guys that were carrying this team offensively for the whole season. And Toni Horvatic drives the ball real well, but it's gonna be handled by the outfielder, and just a longer out. And the omen of ball thrown away does not really work. Lucas Rizzi stepping up to the plate. The relief pitcher. Strike one by Toni Horvatic. It's great to see Toni back on a mound, but unable to control the breaking ball, and it hits Lucas, who happily takes the first base. Now batting number 7, the starting pitcher of a day, who did really amazing 5 innings. What a domination he showed, striking out 10 batters in 5 innings. Wow, what a pitching performance. He really set the tone, and then when there was 5-0, came in and smashed a 3-run home run for the 8-0 lead. That was the commanding lead that Olimpija is still not able to bounce back, and they're running out of time, and literally as the sun is setting, just one more offense. Olimpija has just 3 outs for Pioneers, and they'll be heading to very much deserved semi-final spot tomorrow, 5 o'clock, against Tenerife Marlins. Couple of pick-off attempts. There is no rule on number of pick-offs you can have. Although the European baseball is usually adopting the Major League Baseball rules, and that's how it always was, but 1 year after they're implemented in Major League Baseball. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out with the pitch clock, because there is pop-up back, and Phil Smith unable to corral it. Really not his tournament, I have to say. Really tough on a guy. Tough position he has, and I know how he likes playing and how he enjoys playing, and he's a true gamer, so I know mistakes like this, really, he takes it to the heart directly. But knowing his ability and when he's been able to do in the past, we're sure he's gonna bounce back soon. Chance for double play. Alcala to Papic. Papic to Rumora for a double play. Good job by Olimpija defense, and it's great to see Duje throwing the ball out there. Duje, good to see you. Number 99 for Olimpija, and last year Croatian series best pitcher, really, as a 18-year-old kid, just dominated the series with his pitching performance. He would come in a crucial situation, save situation, and then even a tight game. So got a couple of wins pitching in really high. What's the word in English? I'm missing, but really crucial situation that he was put in. So good to see him throwing the ball across from second base, and that his arm is healing up, and hopefully he'll be on the mound soon too as well. Great pitch by Toni Horvatic in the meantime, and let's see, they're trying to freeze the batter the longer after he's working quicker. Now staring at a batter, and that's a shortstop, I believe. He's the big guy. Yeah, it is. That is the Quint, hitting 333 for the tournament. And Toni Horvatic takes care of him with a breaking ball. Good job by Toni Horvatic. And last chance for Olimpija coming up soon.
Završila je 8. izmjena Olimpija.
And Duje Papic stepping in a batter's box, his first at bat of this tournament. And like we mentioned, Duje Papic was on the injury list for last month and a half, which is too bad to see a young player. Duje, a pretty good and complete ball player, can play any position, can pitch really good. His hitting has been kind of down a little bit, maybe trying to do too much with every pitch. So last 2 seasons, I would say, did not really live up to his potential as far as hitting, but well, I know he's practicing hard and working on it, so it's just maybe a matter of taking those practice swings into the game as he strikes out at this at bat, not able to actually bring those at bats that because if you're working with him in a cage or you're standing by, you know, those swings really sounds like a shots, like a bullet shots, and it's a crisp sound of wood bat and bat speed that he's able to generate, but just has problem of turning those back to the turning those games into the game. And Bartol Basanac pops up, and here's another young player of Olimpija. Ron Karin is gonna get a chance to get, and his one official at bat and first international experience for young Ron, another young player. And Olimpija has 4 or 5 young players born 2007 who are already knocking on a senior team. They're still U16, but practicing with a senior team and really showing that there is a future for baseball here in Karlovac. As Ron takes a strike outside, let's see if it's gonna be aggressive. No, takes a ball. Pitcher not liking it, and but ball got thrown away. And let's see, 2 outs and last chance for Olimpija. It's pretty cool that those young kids get a chance to play. So ball high, low, high, 2-1. See if Ron can actually do something. And this at bat, and he takes a cut and gets a first international swing. The ball gets away, and Ron is running. Are they gonna wave him to third? Yes, Ron is running for a third base, and what a great performance by a youngster as he gets a standing ovation from the crowd. Way to go, Ron. Maybe that may that be first of many hits on international level, and it's amazing. We're gonna have another pinch hitter, and that's another young hard-working catcher of for Olimpija, Dorian Bartolcic. Pretty cool scenery, the 16-year-olds getting the at-bats here against top teams in Europe and actually delivering. And let's see if Dodo can do this as well. Dodo is really a hard-working player, a catcher, a backup catcher, of course, first catcher for the U16 team, but really a cool thing that he gets a chance to play. And he checks his swing, and 1-1 is the count, and it's to the delight of the crowd. And this is what all Karlovac baseball is about, giving a chance to the young kids, working with the kids, and putting them on a spot, and giving them well-deserved at-bats for their practicing hard for years, and carrying the youth team. So this is how the future stars are being born. Let's see if Dodo can actually gets on base. And this is the most I've heard crowd cheering for somebody get a hit by pitch, as Dodo takes one, and he didn't blink an eye. He's rubbing it a little bit, but first and third for Olimpija, still chances alive. Another player, a young player, but already established, a senior player, Sven Anic, is turning 18. And the kids deliver. Wow. Wow, what exposition of the youth talent for Karlovac. Amazing. The kids stepping in. First 16-year-old Ron Karin getting a triple. Amazing, amazing. 10-4, but everybody's cheering like it's a winning run. And now Phil Smith coming in. Let's hope the Phil Smith as well will get continue to do so what the youngsters did. And Sven Anic, great hit. Obviously Sven more experienced senior. The rest of them, Phil Smith drives the ball, but unfortunately for him directly to the outfielder, and this wraps up the ball game. But what a great fighting for Olimpija, and crowd recognize that as they do get a standing ovation here in Karlovac. And I'm sure they did fall 10-4, but they're walking off that field with their heads up with the performance they had. And congratulations to the Pioneers Belgian team, who are moving to the semifinals tomorrow, 5 o'clock against Tenerife.
Sutra u 10 ujutro utakmica razigravanja za
We're able to see. Standard high-fiving, you're able to see. They're signaling me. I don't know if I'm on or not, but it's as typical for the European games, tournaments, and games in Croatian League. And the crowd did recognize great thing and battling of Olimpija. They never gave up. They battled all the way, but Pioneers this time were better and took their spot in the semifinals. So we're gonna wrap it up from here, from the beautiful Four Rivers Stadium here in Karlovac, Croatia. I hope you enjoyed this game and had a lot of good moves, and really emotional at the end as the youngsters did their job. They were giving opportunity, and they took it, scoring the run. And it's pretty amazing to see young kids who grew up here in Karlovac, played baseball for now 10 years, to actually shine on international level like this. So if with the 16 they're able to do so, there is a good future for them, obviously, if they continue to practice hard and injuries avoid them. So this is all for me. I am Damir, Denny, K, Karin, and we'll hear each other and see each other tomorrow. Bye.